Friends, hi! It's a pleasure to welcome you to hollylolly's channel. You know, I saw that subscribers really liked it when I showed my Japanese everyday life. Usually I have a clear plan and script of what I'm going to talk about in this or that video, but today I just decided to show my Japanese everyday life. Maybe if I don't have enough material from one day, I'll show you the next day as well. It will be a cut from the video. Anyway, now I decided to go to Tsukiji Market. Basically, it's this big fish market in Tokyo that I've never explored for a simple reason: there's no way I could have guessed the time. People say it's basically a night market, and plus it's still open until lunchtime. And we, if I'm not mistaken, tried to get there twice. But when we arrived, the market was not working at that time. It was a few years ago. The information on the internet was not true, because they wrote that it works until 4 or 5 in the evening. We arrived, and there was nothing working there. So now I'm on my way. I'll see what's interesting there, and I'll show you. You know, I guess it is probably very, very cold in your countries. I don't know when this video will be edited, but in Japan, in Tokyo, it's almost December and it's quite warm. But still, we don't have central heating in Tokyo. Winter is coming, and we need to look for some things for heating. It can be mats, warming devices for separate parts of the body, for feet, for hands. Every year the Japanese invent something new, and I never cease to wonder what they will invent this time and what they will surprise us with. I'll also probably take you to my favorite cafe, Matsuya, because, you know, it's considered Japanese fast food. It's healthy food, but it's prepared very quickly, and you literally order at the machine. It only takes 2 or 3 minutes, for at the most, and you already have your food, as if you had ordered something at McDonald's. Oh, you definitely can't hear it on the video, but the school bell rang. Behind me is the stadium from the school, and there's such a very nice bell, a beautiful tune. Well, let's go and see what my Japanese routine is going to show you today. I've got birds flying around. Anyway, I'll show you, tell you, and of course, I'll comment on everything. Have a good day, everyone! After living in Tokyo for almost 3 years, I finally decided to visit the legendary Tsukiji Market and take you with me. This place was opened as early as 1935. Tsukiji was the largest fish market in the world, selling over 2,000 tons of seafood and 1,200 tons of fruits and vegetables every day. Here I encountered a phenomenon out of the realm of the fantastic: a paid toilet. In Japan, all public restrooms are perfectly clean, comfortable, with multifunctional toilets, and even free of charge. There are a small number of paid toilets here. For example, the famous transparent stalls on the ascent to Mount Fuji. But to see such a thing in the market was unexpected. It costs 100 yen to enter. You can pay either with a coin or through a QR code. The paid restroom, as always, turned out to be clean. It just really surprised me. It was the first time I've encountered a paid toilet in Japan. Well, kind of a shock to me. Anyway, what do you need to know about Tsukiji Market? Get there early. Many stalls open from early morning, and by noon some of them are already closed. Opening hours are from 5 in the morning and usually until 2 in the afternoon. Many vendors accept card payment, as there are an unreal number of foreigners here. But cash should also be carried with you. Here you can try the freshest tuna, crabs, giant oysters, sea urchins, and other delicacies that have literally just been caught. You can watch the fishermen and chefs at work, see the bargaining and cooking. Morning auctions are very popular at the market. Buyers compete for the best specimens, but you can only get to them very early in the morning when the market opens. You can taste not only seafood but also onigiri, Japanese desserts, dried fruits, premium soy sauce, spices, and more. The aroma of scallops, shrimp, grilled squid, well, just drives you crazy. You can list and look at it endlessly. And, of course, it's better to try it. In addition to food, you can buy a variety of souvenirs on Tsukiji. Pay attention to the signs. You can't eat here on the go, just like in many other public places in Japan. So be sure to bring a bag or purse to wrap your street food in. There are small tables near some of the stalls where you can eat standing up. There are usually areas at all fairs and markets where you can sit down and eat, but you have to find them. Some signs say that you can't stand in certain places. This means that if you stop to look at something on your phone, it is better to go somewhere further away so as not to disturb other shoppers. I saw here a very interesting vending, which sold caviar and tangerines and onigiri and dried fruits and everything at once. I decided decided to try dried yams, as they look very unusual. And as usual, I had to take most of it home with me. Tsukiji Market is known for its respect for customers and high-quality standards. Cases of cheating tourists here are very rare, but still can be. As in any popular tourist spot, the prices in the stalls are aimed at foreigners, so they can be overpriced. One of the most surprising things for every tourist who comes to Japan, especially in winter, is the lack of central heating. The only exception is Hokkaido, the northern island, where winters are really very cold. But for the most part, you have to somehow manage without heating. One of the most popular ways is an air conditioner with heating function, but it is quite expensive, and not everyone can afford it. That's why we are going to the Nitor Store, where you can find the most unusual and useful inventions for heating. And not only, Japanese plaids have reached a new level. For example, such warming bed pads for the bed, which will make the sleeping place always warm. And if you want, you can use a rug as well. There are incredibly warm robes here that look like real home-down jackets. These are layered robes that you can wrap yourself in from head to toe. They come in different sizes, lengths, even designs. You can also add a hood to the set, which also keeps you well warm and doesn't electrify. There are a lot of cool devices for the feet. For example, such a funny slipper for 2 feet at once, or a Velcro electric heater that works better than any wool socks. For those who sit a lot at the computer, under the table you can put such a thermal screen for feet. In Japan, you can find a huge number of portable heaters of all different shapes and sizes. If you want to add coziness, they even come in the form of small fireplaces. There are soft carpets that can be turned into a sleeping bag. The Japanese are very careful in choosing what the bedding or furniture coverings are made of. For chairs and sofas, they often use fabrics that retain heat well and do not let cold in. No one forgets about pets either. There is a large selection of cozy and warm houses. My Japanese dream is a kotatsu, but because of the lack of space in the apartment so far cannot afford to buy it. What is a kotatsu anyway? It is a regular round or square table with a heater underneath. A warm plaid is draped over the top. It's a traditional Japanese way of keeping warm. Most apartments in Tokyo are very small, so many people have trouble buying furniture or appliances. There are examples in the stores of how to furnish a small room. Look at this washing machine. Here you can, in comparison with the hand, it is very compact. And these are very low refrigerators. Look, my height is just under 160 centimeters. The Japanese are constantly coming up with new mobile and compact furniture, so that even in a small apartment everything is functional. For example, this pillow looks quite large, but you can sleep on it, use it as a stand, take it with you on the road. Speaking of the lack of space in Tokyo, it is incredibly dense here, but the Japanese open salons, circles and sections even in the smallest rooms. In such a room, children are divided into 2 teams. It is not individual classes, and somehow all fit in. Moreover, there are so many people who want to attend that we have been standing in line for a year and a half in order to get to the classes. Now, I'm going to shock you a little bit, but I don't like ramen. I know that Japanese cuisine is incredibly diverse and everyone can find something to their liking, but classic ramen is not my thing. Let the Japanese ask me, but I still found a version of this dish that I really like, so I like to try it in different places. We went to a new place called Teo no Tomato Men, and I was immediately attracted to their huge wooden menu. It looks super stylish and unusual. So if you, like me, are not a fan of classic ramen but still want something like this, try the tomato one. I straight up recommend it to you. You have no idea how impressed I am with the honesty and responsibility of the Japanese. We were recently in Yokohama, and in one of the shopping centers we came across a cute coffee shop. There you can get a colorful anime print on your coffee. By the way, we also saw something similar at the Nissan Museum, but there they can print your images on coffee foam. Anyway, at the first attempt, the anime picture moved a little bit. We didn't even have time to say anything before the employee himself politely apologized and asked if our coffee could be redone. That afternoon we happened to catch a high school musical performance right on the subway. All in all, it was very sweet and touching. The kids were incredible at playing musical instruments and still managed to dance. I would like to introduce you to one rather unique place in Tokyo, which I discovered more recently. It's Ueno Station. It is really different from the rest of Tokyo. If usually this metropolis is associated with silence, tranquility, and strict study of rules, the atmosphere of Ueno is noticeably more noisy and lively. And this is not a minus, but rather a peculiarity. There is no sense of chaos here, as, for example, on Kabukicho Street. But unlike the usual quiet Tokyo, in Ueno you can feel dynamics, loud conversations, more relaxed atmosphere. The place even reminded me of Seoul, especially after our recent trip to Korea, as I think this place is worth a visit to experience another facet of this amazing city. The perfect place to dine in Japan, and my personal recommendation, is Matsuya Fast Food Cafe. Like many Japanese places, there's a nice bonus here: free water. It's a small thing, but it's always welcome. I love Matsuya for the simple but very tasty dishes, and for the fact that you usually don't have to wait more than 3 to 4 minutes for your order. The set lunches here are not greasy but hearty: rice, curries, chops, cutlets, salads, seafood, different side dishes. It seems so simple, but it's delicious. And my favorite dish is a cutlet in a rich sauce, rice, a little bit of vegetables, and a perfectly cooked egg on top. And the prices here are really nice. My dinner cost $6. It is convenient that in a cafe you can pay not only in cash, but also with Apple Pay card or even via Apple Watch. Tokyo is a unique city in terms of safety. Here you can often see how late in the evening or even at night, single girls calmly go home after work or return from a bar. They feel confident because they know no one will approach them, no one will harass them, and certainly no one is trying to steal their bag. It's one of those things that strikes a lot of tourists. But honestly, that doesn't mean you can completely let your guard down. Recently, there are more and more news about the inadequate behavior of foreigners who are not used to such an order as the Japanese. Therefore, it is better to remain attentive. Yes, and there are areas in Tokyo where it is not advisable to go alone at night. Nevertheless, most of the city remains truly safe. This is evidenced at least by the fact that here even small schoolchildren from the first grade walk to and from school on their own, and often ride the subway unaccompanied by adults. This is seen as the absolute norm, not something risky. Friends, thank you all so much for watching. Please like this video, subscribe to the channel, and see you in new videos. Bye bye!